It's time for some hostile therapy. All right, we're back with Hostile Therapy with Big Red on Thursday. How's everybody doing out there in the airwaves? Got me, Big Red, and Lord Trent with I don't know what's going on in the background.
Nothing.
This man's trying to show off his new logo in the background. Man,
that logo right there. I mean, that shit is a little wavy. I guess it's a little fly. It's cool.
Made by him, believe it or not. He did all the work behind that.
Oh, stop it. Keep going.
Yeah, I could say those two fingers are like doing something else, but I'm gonna keep my mind clear because we got
Peace, God. Don't even, stimulate your mind, Craig, is my only response to that.
It'll stimulate something.
And that right there, that's the first one. We should have a counter for every time something inappropriate is said, like right in the corner.
I need to add a bell, like a little bell thing, every time we count, say something inappropriate. And I'm pretty sure there's gonna be plenty of that.
Every time there's a "that's what she said" moment. I've been rewatching The Office.
I'm a plenty of "that's what she said" type of thing. I'm trying to tone it down this year. Last year, I violated that by at least 1,000 per week.
Look, if that's what she said, that's what the fuck she said. I ain't got. If that's what the bitch said, that's.
Some people are ashamed for what they said. They don't want to be outed for it, but I'm here to call it out. But this year, I'm trying to change.
That's relevant to one of our topics.
Oh yeah, it is relevant. Which one?
MBJ.
Which one?
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan. Oh, yeah. I thought
Young Craig.
I thought it was going to be the emotionally stupid one.
That too.
That's kind of related. That's kind of related to all the things.
It's a relevant episode, y'all.
You know what? And it's kind of relevant to the other topic we're going to talk about, which I know is probably going to burn you. The Kanye one. Is Kanye's back?
You know what? I'm going to take an interesting stand. I've been doing as I've been looking further into what it means to be a black man and as what it means to no longer identify with black from this day on. I'm Moorish. They've been trying to hide that from me, and I found it, you motherfuckers. I'm Moorish.
They've been trying to hide. Who's been trying to hide it? Is it black people been trying to hide it or white people been trying to hide it?
Oh no, because black people don't know. That's why we call ourselves black. Why would we call ourselves the most negative thing that is putting it? Everything negative is literally named after black. Black plague, black death, black and we were called that. But think about this. What were we calling ourselves when we were the first people? We weren't calling ourselves by colors. You know what I'm saying? So somebody had to come over and put that idea on us. But before that, and when we were over here, we were called Moorish because we did have a presence over here in America before the transatlantic slave trade. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I found it. Fucking found it.
All right, what's going on?
What's up, Sparky?
Hey, how y'all doing?
We doing good over here.
Doing good. That's good. I'm about to be doing good. I need to roll up real quick. Shit.
I know that.
Yes,
oh shit!
honey.
And the Wu-Tang Clan is back, season 3, y'all. Wu-Tang the American.
It's already out.
It's already out. There's like
I got to watch that joint.
There's like 5 episodes up right now.
So they released 5, and then they gonna release the next. Yeah, okay. I went to see them in concert when they were just in Charlotte.
Yeah,
they were just here in Charlotte this year. I went and seen them.
Damn, I missed that.
Yeah, it was a wonderful show. It was a wonderful show. It's crazy because I had somebody that was selling tickets to Rolling Loud this weekend. One of my people was going to Rolling Loud this weekend, and then the girlfriend, the granddaddy died. So I was trying to find somebody that wanted tickets to Rolling Loud out in LA this weekend too, because I knew somebody had tickets for them for sale. All kinds of stuff. Huh?
Was that concert last year? The Wu-Tang. The Wu-Tang.
Yeah, that one was last year. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that was last year here in here it was at the Pavilion. I got some good video footage from it. They was rocking.
Today is Method Man's birthday, matter of fact.
Hey, 80.
Happy birthday to Cal.
Right.
I haven't got on the second season of the Wu-Tang show. I ain't got on that yet.
Oh yeah. I'm caught up since he said third season out. I got to watch that. I don't have something to watch at work tonight.
That shit literally has me talking like Ghostface Killer throughout the day. Like, you feel what I'm saying, son? Like, niggas just don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they just don't fucking know.
But the little bit I've seen, get y'all.
As my gun clap, I ain't got to worry about nothing. Feel me? Huh?
What do y'all think about the guy that does RZA voice? I ain't feeling the guy that does RZA.
He does like a really articulate DMX.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It don't sound like the right flow. It seems a little bit too edgy. That was a good definition too, or something DMX, because it got that edge to it.
Is that so? If we take all the best artists from Shaolin,
that's just how he sound. That's exactly how he sound.
we take them to Stapleton and Park Hill and we bring them together, no one can stop us. We're
Yep, that's
unstoppable.
exactly how he sound. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, why y'all got him sound
Nothing
like
like RZA, but like I don't get why that, but that's where he's at with it.
Is a guy from Europe
Moonlight.
somewhere?
He's the actor for Moonlight. His name is Ashton something.
And here's another movie he was in too.
Moonlight
Is
one.
it something in and out in? It was another movie he was in too, because I didn't know it was something about him because his dad was in prison, or him and his dad ended up in the same prison. It was something else I saw, and I was like, oh, that's the dude from what's it called?
He picked good roles, but yeah, that voice is I hear a lot of
Yeah,
critiques on it. And I get it.
Because Tomato Meth don't have that. RZA don't have that. I like you said, he sound like DMX.
RZA has a bit of a lisp. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe,
I've
and
heard
they
RZA
got to
talk.
pick their own actors and stuff. So RZA must have thought he was gonna do the best version of him, but it's like, wow, what was you seeing?
That being said, Dave East, you're doing a great job.
Dave East, he was my homeboy before that even came out. But yeah, he's doing a good
Dave
job.
East is doing a great job. I'm learning so much watching this. It's like, dude, I don't even want to spoil it for you, Red. Shit. Damn.
Yeah, don't spoil it for me. Eventually,
Red said, yeah, don't spoil it for me.
Yeah, because right now, I don't really watch a lot of new shows. The only new show I can think about watch now is it just came back on with Snowfall.
Well, I haven't even got on that yet. So
I ain't got on the new season of Snowfall yet. I knew it was coming out. I usually catch it, but I hadn't started watching it yet. I got a lot of stuff to watch today.
It's only like 2 episodes that came out.
Okay.
I'm on that Bel Air. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I saw the first episode.
Bel Air a little bit. Like, it's edgy. I sound like a kid. It's edgy now. Carlton does coke. Oh, I ain't gonna ruin the set. They're 2 episodes in. They're touching some subjects. They're touching some stuff. Like that's all Bel Air is now. It's just they took out the laugh track, and now it's it's just current topics.
Social comes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's. I think Raz will be in a little later. She's stuck in traffic. But let's get into.
Preezy ain't jumping on tonight.
Preezy, she had some dental work done, and she's got the Godfather thing going on, so she didn't want.
Got you.
You know,
I hit her up last week to find out what time her podcast was. So when I went and looked at her podcast, it listed a phone number and like an email address to get in contact with her. So I had texted her on the number that she has listed for the show to ask her what time her show was, and she still ain't responded. That was like a week ago.
That's her right there.
A week ago.
Yeah.
Oh shit! What's up, Reese?
She's here in spirit.
Hey, girl.
I wanted to come on because I was gonna play the Godfather music in the background. She came on. I want to hear her say,
"You ain't doing that to me."
Yeah.
I've always been more of a Goodfellas guy.
She's over there leaving a horse head in somebody's bed right now.
I'll make you an offer. You can't refuse.
She'll be back. She's getting better over there. Shout out to the Preezy. Listen up, listen in. But let's go ahead and get into the main topic for today. Let's see. Let me post this on the screen right quick. All right. How to tell if they are emotionally stupid. What I meant by this, when you're in a relationship, a lot of times you can deal with people who are emotionally immature, where maybe they're immature with how they handle their money, how they handle sex, how they handle arguments. And I just want to hear you guys' point of view, what you think is one of the worst ways somebody can be emotionally immature. I can name my ways, but I want to hear what you guys think. When you think somebody's emotionally immature, where you feel like you need to go ahead and part ways with that person immediately. Like there's probably no way they can get fixed. You know, some people you can talk to them and say, hey, maybe if you change the way you talk to me, then, you know, maybe we can, move further with this relationship. Maybe if you do this better at your job, maybe you can keep your job longer than, 3 months. What are some ways you think that it's just like, nah, pass on this, go and find someone else because this is too much to work on? So with that being said, we got 2 minutes initially. to talk about this subject. LT, you tell me something that it don't have to be one, just for right now. What you think is one of your top things you look for to think if someone is emotionally mature instead of emotionally stupid? Well, you tell me what you think is emotionally stupid, where you just like, okay, I got to part ways. I can't be with this person anymore because it's not going to get any better.
Let's see. I would define emotionally. Oh shit.
Okay, go ahead.
I would define emotionally stupid or emotionally. I mean, yeah, because I feel like we use the word emotional intelligence here a lot. So it's the lack of emotional intelligence, not knowing how to effectively and positively communicate and express how you feel. And when your feelings are only of an immediate, or when you're only things that are immediate are the only things that matter to you, like how somebody responds to something you say or do. You're not thinking about how things, or how you might feel later, or how that person might feel. Basically, to me, selfishness is a very clear sign of emotional immaturity or emotional stupidity, because to think that this world is only here to serve your needs and you're not here to serve the needs of the world, then you obviously don't know how this world works. Like, you can work within it, but if you're actively trying to affect change in your life and the lives of those around you, you have to work with it. So yeah, emotional intelligence is it's a lack of selfishness. It's a commitment to that not just a person in a romantic sense, but to people in a platonic sense as well. You know, if you're emotionally intelligent, you're not going to be so quick to judge those that you call your friends or your peers or your colleagues, because you know, anyone's mistakes can be your own. But when you're lacking in emotional intelligence, how you feel about things is the most important thing to you. So yeah, I guess I'm rambling a little bit, but it all just kind of boils back to, you know, to silencing that selfishness that is inherently human to all of us. Don't even need 2 minutes. There we go.
You don't need 2 minutes. All right. Cool.
Are you ready?
Cool. All right. Sparky, what do you have to say on the matter? What do you think is someone emotionally stupid? What is a sign that you look for? Like, okay, I just can't deal with this person. This is not going to get better. Let me cut ties right now before Ike Turner come out. This guy.
Are you ready? Go.
Okay, it's a couple of things. One, I look at like how a guy treats his mom. That's an indicator to me. I look at their relationship with their kids or lack thereof. And one of the other things I look at is sometimes you could talk to a gentleman, talk to a guy or whatever, and when you listen to his tone, he's like a woman hater. Like sometimes you'll meet a guy, you'll be like, oh, he's a part of the He-Man Woman Hater Club, you know. And when you see that, when somebody shows you who they are, you better believe it. Somebody show you on the front end that a woman can't never do nothing right. Ain't no woman never did nothing right. You know, when you listen to them talk, that's a serious red flag for me. Because when your mama can't never do nothing right, or this woman, no woman's never done nothing right, guess what? I'm not going to ever be able to do nothing right either. So that's one of those I need to go, because the rose-colored glasses that you looking at things through are not the same glasses, the same lenses that I see things through. So we ain't gonna work.
Nope. Roses really smell like boo, 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 boo.
Okay, you good? That's good. You good on that?
Yep, I'm good on that.
All right.
Oh, and controlling. I'm sorry, I thought you said you was good. Oh, and when they too controlling. That's on men or women's part though. When you meet somebody that's real controlling, it make you be like, well, why you feel like you gotta control the situation? What's wrong? What do you think is gonna happen if you allow your spouse or your significant other to have their own mind? You know, why do you feel the need to control it? That's another red flag. Okay, I'm done for real this time.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, let me go.
Are you ready? Go.
Okay, so and there's a mixture of kind of what both of you guys said, but accountability, I feel, is a big thing. I've been with people who don't take accountability for anything. You know, I try to, in any time I'm in a discussion that probably turns into an argument, even after it's over, I'll go back. I'll rewind what happened what I said. I'm like, maybe I should have said that. Maybe I could have said that differently. Maybe I should have came at this discussion in a different way. And I'll come back and say, hey, I was wrong for saying it that way. I should have worded it different. Maybe I shouldn't got loud or whatever. Maybe I should have talked calmer. I'll be accountable for that. I'll at least look at it. Now, if I can't find anything, then I'll also say that too. But people who can't take accountability for anything. And also, there's a term called cognitive fusion, where people will equate all of their feelings with reality, which is almost the same thing to me as being accountable. When they don't look at anything from a reality standpoint or any other people's point of view, their feelings are 100% right. Nothing they have thought about or if they felt is wrong. If you cannot take the chance to look at yourself and look that you possibly could be wrong, I think that's emotionally stupid. That you just cannot be wrong with anything. And nothing gets solved that way. You are usually going to be dealing with problems that you had years ago and they never get resolved. Basically, you're starting a fire without putting out another fire, and it's going to keep going over and over and over again. And then you know what comes after that? Resentment and grudges. And you're going to hold those grudges, and they're going to affect your thought process going forward. If you're never figuring out how to let something go from the past, it's going to doom you in the future. I've dealt with those type of people. Just don't look at anything from any other point of view. It's just everything has to be your fault.
Word.
There's no instance where I'm in an argument discussion where I don't look back at it and like, maybe let's see, could I have said something different here? Now, I may come to the point where I'm like, nah, I think I did a good thing. I think whatever I said was true, 100% true. But I'll at least look at it. But someone who cannot find fault in themselves, I think they call them narcissists too.
Yeah,
That would be
narcissism.
narcissistic. Yeah.
Oh, damn, she said it too. Shoot. Preezy said it too.
Right on
Yep.
time.
So I think there's a lot of emotionally stupid people like that. When I try to get in, and this is it's funny because this is where I got a little bit of this format from, where we talk and we kind of give each other a back and forth when we talk. I dealt with not just one person but a couple people where when you talk, they're not really listening. Even if they're quiet, they're talking in their head. They're trying to respond in their head before they're finished listening to what you have to say. And then once you're done, they didn't hear the other half of the conversation you had.
Just ready to tell you how you were wrong.
Right. And then when the conversation's over and y'all go back over it, I'm like, well, you didn't say this. I'm like, yeah, I did. I said a lot of that last night, but you didn't hear me because you were too busy trying to respond. Right.
Yeah, trying to like I hate when a person is more so trying to explain why they, I guess, weren't wrong in something versus trying to hear why, or why it was trying to hear how they could have been perceived as wrong. So yeah, along with everything we're saying, if you're not open to being challenged, open to being called out on something that you do that may offend people, then yeah, I would have to agree with Sparky. It seems like you controlling is the next thing that follows that, because now it just seems like when I bring my emotional discomfort to you, you're just going to manipulate and gaslight that into making it seem like I shouldn't feel this way, which is that's emotionally intelligent, and it's a kind of a temper tantrum. It's a stunted emotional growth. You know what I'm saying? They're reacting to things as if they were a child. Usually only child syndrome or baby of the family syndrome, some shit like that. But at an age that it's truly embarrassing for it to be still.
Hold on now. I'm teasing. I'm sorry. I'm an only child. That was hey, hold on.
I'm the baby.
I'm just teasing.
I'm the baby too.
I'm the youngest of three.
We all got
I
syndrome.
know that. Yeah, I know that's the stereotype that
Yeah.
gets. They use that frame, or they use that frame of mind, or that stationary position in your family role to illustrate how people still have that mindset growing up into adults. Like some of us can't let it go. Some of us just simply haven't grown up.
Yeah, and I totally understand because I'm definitely guilty of it in the past, speaking out of anger, but no one hears each other when you speak out of anger. You're trying to sometimes be the loudest one. You're trying to be the most right one in the room or whatever. I can't say I don't do it now. I'm way better at it than I used to be. I try to do reflective listening, where I try to listen to what the person says. I try not to interrupt. I try to hear everything they have to say, repeat what they said previously, and then give my counter rebuttal or whatever, and see if we can come to a conclusion from the discussion from there. But what tends to happen a lot of times, the people who are not mature enough to have those conversations, or someone says something that you don't like, then the emotion, upset, sad, anger can come about, and then you don't hear the other person. And then that's where anger comes in on both sides, because neither one of you getting heard, and then you blow up. Nothing doesn't get resolved. But I think the biggest thing I hate is having a discussion where it never gets resolved, and then you move on. And it's just sitting in the background waiting to be brought up at another time. And that's what a grudge is.
Word. Can't let that shit go. Yeah, also that. Not being able to let that go. My bad.
What you about to say?
What do you think? I was gonna say, what do you think, like when you're in a situation like this and you have an argument or a disagreement, and your person, you haven't, they have their points, you have their points, they have theirs and you have yours. But when you don't agree with the other person's point, now you be like, well, I don't agree with that. That's not true. Sometimes people get upset or offended because you're saying that you don't agree with it or that's not true. But if you don't agree with that person's point, I can't just sit there and be like, oh, you're right, because I don't think you're right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? Like,
gotcha.
And sometimes when you do that, that other person hears that I don't believe that or that's not true, and that almost sets up a specific reaction, because now it's like
calling you a liar.
Yeah. So it's that
without calling you a liar.
How are you supposed to do? But how are you supposed to do that though? If you don't agree with what the person is saying, you have to kind of rebut and be like, well, no, I don't agree with that, or I don't believe that.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. What I only thing I just hate is while you're talking, you're doing that, and you don't get to hear the other person's point of view. Now, if y'all don't agree, I mean, there's points where you're never going to agree. I think what can happen is you can come to a standstill and like, okay, we're not getting anywhere with this. Let's come back to this, and then let's see if we can come to a common ground. You still may not agree, but as long as feelings are left out of it, I guess it kind of can depend on the conversation. If we're talking about somebody,
say it's hard for feelings to be left out of it. Sometimes, because you're dealing with your significant other. Is everything?
Right.
Everything is feeling infused. Everything is a feeling behind it. I get the wanting to be able to make a decision like with your head instead of your heart sometimes.
Right.
But sometimes, sometime in relationships though, we may need to use our heart a little bit more than always our head. It's nothing wrong with letting your heart lead you. When you're you talk about something in your relationship, because if you try to deal with everything just from the head and never from the heart in your relationship, you're gonna call them off as a cold ass person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're never gonna have no feeling in there. You're never gonna have no emotion in there. I don't think you want to be in a relationship with that type of person either, because now everything is almost a math equation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just saying though, if you using the majority emotion behind making your decision, that's what I mean by emotionally stupid. When you're not using any logic at all. If you're angry about something, well, I'm gonna be vengeful and make this decision based off how I feel, how angry I am, not based off of logic.
Got you. or thinking about repercussions. You know, that
Yeah,
might seem
I
like
would
the
call
right
that
decision
emotionally
right
irresponsible.
now. Yeah, that might seem like the right thing to do right now because you're mad or whatever, but you didn't think that through all the way and think about the repercussions it was gonna have.
Right.
Yeah.
OJ was emotionally stupid.
You should always be able to disagree, but disagree. Like there should be understanding still in any disagreement. Like when you're just
Empathy.
arguing just to be right, you're gonna argue for hours upon hours upon hours. If there's no point where you come to the realization that if you truly care about the person and you're upsetting them, you should want to understand why or how what you're doing or saying is upsetting them. Just like if they're upsetting you, but no matter how often or how you try to explain it, they keep responding with the no, but you're wrong, that's not this. Wouldn't you be upset that it's not that you, and you know what, I can understand why you feel like that thing you did wouldn't be bothersome to another person, but I'm trying to explain to you that for me, if you're going to be with me, I feel you've made me feel comfortable enough to explain myself to or to
Froze up.
He must have been getting ready to say something good. You know how when he about to spit something good, boy, it frees him up in a minute.
argue. Every time I start going off, I know they be knowing, they be fucking knowing.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, I think
Orange.
you can also be emotionally stupid or immature without not having empathy and sympathy for something too. You know, so that's why I do believe emotion can be a part of a discussion, but not being able to empathize with your counterpart, your mate, I think is bad too. Not seeing where they're coming from in the situation. You don't have to agree, but you can understand why they're thinking that way.
Because that's gonna lessen that's gonna lessen your drive towards just being right. Everybody has everybody has a vibe of whenever someone tells us something we don't like about ourselves, that we maybe don't want to hear about ourselves, maybe something that we actually know in the back of our minds back here, but don't like saying out loud, don't want anyone else to say out loud, especially a person that we really care about, that we don't want to leave, that we don't want to run off, that we don't want to chase off, that we want to appear perfect too. We sometimes reject the notion that we could hurt them. Sorry, I was communicating non-verbally. But you don't want to reject the things your partner says to you just because they're uncomfortable for you to hear, because it's negative things about you. If it's negative about you and you trust them to be telling you something that is that is a negative trait in yourself, you should be willing to hear it, understand where they're coming from, and make the change behavior if you truly care and if you truly trust their opinion.
If it's true.
You got to be able to really trust their opinion. Like, yeah, some people will try to gaslight and manipulate you. Well, you called me fat when I put on that. Motherfucker, if you actually, man or woman, if you actually look fat in it, would you like for me to tell you that before we left the house? Or would you like for me to have you out here with your belly button out in the middle of fucking the beginning of spring? I was about to say the middle of winter. It's still kind of dead out here a little bit. But when you want like that, you get where I'm going.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, before
So
I
you
freeze up
saying
again.
that so you saying that if your partner comes to you and tells you something, that you should I'm just making sure I'm reading this back what you said. So if your partner comes to you and tells you something, you're supposed to just take what they told you for
No,
face value and then make a change.
I am not
That's
saying
what it
that,
sounds like
because
you said. That's what I was like,
if
huh?
you trust if
That's
here's
why
the
I
thing
said
I'm
if you're
saying.
wrong. If you're wrong.
If you trust this person if this person is your partner and you're in a good, positive, healthy relationship in this headspace,
If.
like, yes,
Yeah, there's a lot of ifs in there. Okay.
this is
I was
hypothetical.
about to say, okay.
This is but I mean, but that is the nature of like, what else will we be in relationships for if we don't trust the people we're with? Why are we with them if we don't truly trust them to speak to us honestly about us? You know what I'm saying? So if you trust this person's opinion on, because again, we allow these people in our homes, we allow them into our body. We should trust their opinion on us, right? If we don't, then that's a whole nother conversation we should have. That's a whole nother reason we're getting offended right there. If you don't trust what your partner has to say about you, that's either because you don't think they truly know, like you don't think they're being honest, you think it's coming from a place of manipulation, or you truly feel that they are misunderstood. And if you truly feel that they are misunderstood in your actions and in reading you, wouldn't you want to solve the situation the most amicably and the most amicably and healthy that you could, without yelling, without no, you're wrong, like without being defensive about it, without being immediately, oh no, how could you even say that? How could you, I'm like, without thinking that they're just trying to attack you. You wouldn't think that if you trusted them. Now again, that's if you trust them. That's if you trust your partner. What the term partner kind of entails a little bit of trust. So if you're with a partner that you don't trust, that's kind of like an oxymoron.
That's right. If, all those things.
There's a lot of ifs.
And there was a bunch of ifs in that one, boy.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, though. If you're not in that headspace with that person, if you think they are emotionally immature, then this is what we're talking about.
Because yes, to a point, an emotionally immature person will try to just manipulate your feelings. They will tell you that you did something that you did something, and they'll try to tell you what you actually meant behind it. Now, sometimes that could be because a person actually received it like that because they're having a trauma response to something you did or something you said. You have to know your partner. You have to know where they're coming from when they have a reaction to things. But there are people that are just, they know you so well that they know how to pull your strings. I can attest to it. I've been in relationships where a person has tried to, they know my emotional bitch, and they'll try to manipulate how I feel to further their point in an argument. Those people exist as well. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of ifs in it. That was my text tone. It's my girl.
Okay. But there's also those people too that use trauma responses to never solve a problem. Like everything you say to them is a trauma response. So as soon as you're trying to get to something that's bothering you, they're saying, "Oh, well, you're attacking me." And then you have to just stop the whole conversation. You never get to the meat of the conversation. You're just stating what you don't feel is right about a relationship. And they'll use "Oh, well, I feel like I'm being attacked." Me saying what I don't think is right about a relationship is not an attack. It's just a discussion. Now, if I'm calling you all the time with bitches and hoes and stuff like that and saying you're stupid or you're just plain out wrong,
you hurt my feelings.
But a lot of people will just use that trauma response. Not saying everybody, but there are people who will use that trauma response type of thing to get out of a discussion, get out of an argument. And again, it's a fire.
It's deflecting.
It's never put out. And then it's going to form another fire and another fire. And then by the time you're done, the whole forest is burned down. And then you're Smokey the Bear making PSAs about the forest being burned down. But that's another subject.
Smokey be starting them fires. They don't want me to talk about that. Yeah.
You saying Smokey lit up?
How else can you sell forest fire safety unless you make the forest not safe? Now, there's not too many humans in the forest left. There are some people out there. There are some nomads. But why is a bear coming all the way out to the children's school to tell them how they can prevent forest fire? They not even in the forest, Smokey. They not.
I always try to figure out how he went from living in the forest to having a college educated voice and speaking to students.
The crime hound used to plant crack on black men in Washington, D.C.
That's facts.
McGruff the crime hound.
It's facts.
McGruff the crime hound was responsible for the assassination of Fred Hampton. McGruff the crime hound. Yes, I know this is breaking news. I know this is sad. This is sad.
This is one thing y'all hear the breaking news today since we've been on the thing that the Murdoch man got convicted of the 2 counts. The dude down in South Carolina he got convicted today.
Murdoch.
That just it was just live. The white man that killed his wife and his son. The man that was the lawyer down there's a whole Netflix series about it. It's called The Murdoch Murders.
I didn't finish
that. The whole the daddy
Excuse
He
me.
just got convicted in real life today. It was just on the news. It was just breaking news.
I
Their
see.
family was like the solicitors and stuff for the whole
Why he
county.
kill him?
That still remains to be seen. Because
Yeah,
even
it's
from the
like
Netflix thing,
anyone
you
can know
couldn't
that. Yeah.
really, yeah, you couldn't really
Emotionally
tell.
stupid. He
It's
probably
like,
That's
or I guess what I mean, shit. I guess it's just ruled murder. You can't even like.
that's what a crime of
they
passion
convicted that
is.
behind them.
I don't know if
Yeah,
that's what
it's
he got convicted of. I don't know if that's a crime of passion, but that's what a
next
crime
week's
of passion
topic.
is. Somebody emotionally stupid and can't control their
Yeah,
emotions
you
and don't
just
kill
lost it.
somebody.
That
Yeah,
is emotionally stupid. That is
yeah.
what I. Yeah.
Your emotions went over your logic, and you were willing to kill somebody and suffer jail time, prison time rather, for the rest of your life because of your emotions. That's what I mean. Where emotions can take over logic. You know, you can have emotion with your how you make decisions and stuff, but there's a such thing as too much. I guess there could be a such thing as too much logic too.
There is such a
Just
thing
being like
as
a
too much
robot. Yeah.
logic. Yeah. Too much logic is where artificial intelligence is going, and we should all be a little afraid.
Should I hug my child tonight? I don't know. I only got 5.2 minutes. I could use that time to watch Sex in the City right now. So I'm gonna have to say
That
no.
is what a
Go to
robot would
bed,
say. It's
child.
like it would be more efficient to spend my time doing things to be more productive than spending time like we, Terminator 2 is happening right in front of us. It's crazy.
It is. And it's coming with the cards, right?
Skynet is going live. I keep seeing the commercials for that fucking show Megan. I'm not watching it because
Oh, the movie?
that is it a movie? Is
Yeah, it's a
it
movie.
It's a
it's
movie.
a movie?
Pretty
Oh,
good.
I don't like it. It's unsettling. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'll
Sit
say
right
I
with
thought
more.
it was pretty good.
Yeah,
It was a
I'll
pretty
it.
say
good
more
movie.
Probably
movie about that. If no
probably
one,
narratively.
It was a up to date Chucky type thing,
It
basically.
looked exactly like that. The girl, like this. I mean, shout out to the makeup team. Shout out to the effects team because
no
it looks
spoilers.
so real that it's unsettling, and I don't want to invite those spirits into my home.
No, they won't. Amazon will.
Yeah, I unplug my I unplug my Alexa at night. I
I
unplug
don't
my
even
Alexa
have
when
one.
I unplug it when I'm having deep conversations.
I got rid of it. I just
I
straight up
love
the Google
hearing
thing
mine.
too. I got rid of it. I got tired waking up at 3 in the morning and asking me, do I want to know what the weather is in Russia right now? I'm like, no, I didn't say anything. I've been asleep.
I like hearing my audiobooks play throughout the house. I got it's good speaker. And you know what? I let it listen sometimes because you know you gonna get this work.
Yeah,
Sometimes when I'm talking shit, I look over and it's like, and I
Tennessee.
hope you heard that, Alexa, in the government.
You got to cut your mic off. They're gonna cut your old camera off. They're gonna cut
I
your
don't know.
Wi-Fi off.
Hey, that's why I be cutting him off now when
I
he trying
know.
to talk, because they think he about to say some of that shit he be saying at the house.
Mhm.
I figured some more shit. I figured some shit out, y'all. We Moorish. Don't celebrate April Fool's Day. That's when they took that's when they took our citizenship. That's what April Fools don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day either. That's when
Right,
a whole bunch of white people cleared a whole bunch of Moorish people, which were, you know, Afro descendant people out of Europe by killing them, by murdering them. Whole bunch of Irish pastors and shit, led by, you know, St. Patrick himself. Uh they persecuted and murdered, they purged all the non-believers of the Christian faith out of Europe and parts of America, and that's why we celebrate St. Pat, or we don't. Well, we're forced to.
I don't celebrate that shit
The
either.
original thing of St. Patrick's Day, the original origin of St. Patrick's Day.
All the origin of these holidays are evil.
Damn near. Okay,
I
tell me about the
celebrate
April Fool's Day. Tell me about that one,
oh,
Lord Trent.
April Fool's Day. That is when Moors, you know, the Moorish folk, people that look like us. That is when our citizenship here in America was revoked. Coincidentally, it was right before the signing of the Declaration of Independence. You know, when the rest of the founding fathers were declaring their independence from Great Britain and King George. They also had a little meeting to get together and say, hey, you know that thing that they did over there in Britain to, you know, like classify people, create skin tones like white, black, and pretty much just those two. We should do that to the Moorish people over here. Well, we should do that to pretty much the black people that live over here and are living over here free. We should tell them that they're property now because there's more of us than there are of them. So yeah, we should make them property. We should kick up the slave trade that we're already participating in, but we're just not talking about it in the history books right now. But yeah, we should those free blacks up here in the north, let's take their citizenship too. And they did that on April 1st. They got that under the way on April 1st. It was also, as you see, it coincides with how they were clearing black people out of Europe on March the 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day. Not just the black people, but all the people who didn't believe in white Christ.
All right, this has been a history moment with LT.
That's right.
Vital information for
Appreciate
your
you,
everyday
LT.
life. Vital
Appreciate
information for your black ass life. That's what it is. Excuse me, for your Moorish life.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be changing. You leave.
Hey,
All right.
look, God is working on me, but not white Jesus. Not that one.
Oh, okay. Perfect segue. I appreciate it, LT.
That's what I
Perfect segue
that
into
boy
the
good.
Nick Cannon story. So
Explain the segue.
I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so the story with the story with Nick Cannon. He got a lot of kids. Maybe I don't know if you heard that.
You
or
know
not.
what? You're right. He has produced. He has spread his seed and been fruitful.
Right. Yeah, he's a great
and
producer.
multiplied.
Yeah,
Yeah, plentiful,
he's a producer
bountiful,
on
and
TV. You
He
know,
said
he's
he
not,
enlarged his territory.
he's not a great
Boy.
producer when it comes to rap albums, but he's a good producer on all these other shows like America's Got Talent.
that boy get a check.
He
I don't
does.
give
The
a
Masked
hey,
Singer.
Say what you want about
Masked
Nick Cannon.
Wildin' Out.
Wildin' Out.
That boy get a
He got it
check.
back. Yeah, Wildin' Out.
Incredible headphones,
his
incredible
check.
real estate.
Because he got these checks, he's able to have 12 kids, and I guess they are living comfortably. But they're living with
Are they all different zodiac
mothers.
signs?
I think at least 6 or 7 different mothers, if I got my math
Six
correct.
of them.
Six
I think
of
it's six
them.
of them. They just did a whole big old spread about it. I think it's 6 of them.
Yeah, he's forming the 12 tribes of Israel. Look like trying to do that all over
Really?
again.
Yeah, like he's kind of actually doing that. That's kind of like that's weird. That like it would be cool if each of those children were born under a different star sign, because there are 12 signs in the zodiac. It'd be cool if he like some of them are girls, so damn, you can't even name them after the 12 apostles. 12 is a very
There's
biblical
2
number.
sets of twins too.
Mm-hmm.
There's at least 2 sets of twins.
Twins
Yeah.
are very vital in African spirituality.
Yeah.
They're very rare, obviously. So and
Wait.
yeah, they represent duality, which is how our universe creates yin and yang.
Well, he had. I don't know if is that counting the one that he lost. I think last year. Or
Damn, he got so many. He lost one, and I ain't
Yeah, because the one that he lost that was 5 months old, that's who the new baby's by. The new baby is by the same mom.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
The new baby, the baby he just had is by the lady that lost the baby that was 5 months old. The baby was 5 months old when the baby died from cancer. I think is what it said. It was all in the article thing. Yeah. So that's the same the one that just had the baby, the very last one. That's the same mother.
Okay.
Wow.
So I think that baby is included in the 12 when the way they showed it in the things. I think there's 2 of them that have 3. There's 2 of them that have 2, and then there's 2 baby mamas that only have 1.
Okay. Well, what I was getting to the segue part was he talked with Entertainment Tonight, and I guess the conversation came up with him about his multiple kids, and like, is he going to stop anytime I his reply was, God decides when we're done.
Wow.
I definitely got my hands full. The father of 12 says about his procreating prowess. He said it could last for decades. He said, I'm so focused, I'm locked in, but when I'm 85, you never know. I might have more, which, could be possible.
And you know what? Someone will fuck him. Someone will fuck him for a check.
So I get, and forgot to mention, we're on the Leave It a Medicated part here. So do you think that despite Nick Cannon's riches, I don't know how much Nick Cannon is worth. I know he's probably worth at least 8 figures. Let's look at it. Let's see how much he's worth.
I'm gonna take a shot. I'm gonna say 75 mil. 75 mil.
Much less than I thought. Maybe he must have lost some or something. Okay, my thing I'm looking at says 20 million. I thought he was worth close to 100 million.
Damn, what? Damn, Viacom, they was They was really about to take. I'm about to hate. They was really about to take that little show, and you only worth $20 million, nigga.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, he doesn't own. From what I understand, he didn't own it. Viacom owned it. He
even with
produced it,
like
but he didn't
Incredible,
own
I
it.
mean, I'm not gonna make it seem like Incredible headphones is selling out. Like I have a fucking pair, or I don't know how Incredible real estate is doing. I heard the real estate market is in shit. So who the fuck knows?
He ain't poor.
But yeah, I mean, definitely not poor. Like 20
Mhm.
million is 20 million up is a good place to be.
Right. So, based off of what he's worth, and even if he was worth $100 million, do you think he still should be able? He should be able to. Should he be having multiple kids spread across the globe, or at least this country anyway,
It's
with reckless abandon? It seems like. I mean, they're getting taken care of. It's not like he's some people, I don't know, that out here just having the kids and not seeing them or just sending a check. I mean, he's going to visit them, but he can't visit them, for like a week straight, 2 weeks straight, months straight, or whatever like that, because he got to go back to work. And they're not in the same location. They're not even in the same state. So do you think that is responsible of him to do that? And on top of that, do you think it's responsible for the mothers to be doing this? Because they know what's going on too. They know he's not going to be able to be there. They're financially straight. He's making sure of that. So I give him props for that part. But emotionally, are those kids going to be straight? Are they going to be emotionally mature for not having him in the house?
Something I'm reading right here says he's worth $45 million.
Boom.
I mean, I was about to say 20, 45, but yeah, that's double. So
yeah, I thought it was remarkably more. I thought he was in the 100 million somewhere, but yeah, it's not poor, but
it's not poor, but I got you. It's not as much as you thought it was, because it makes a little bit more sense about why they talk so bad about Mariah being with him, because it said Mariah worth $550 million.
God damn, off of glitter.
I guess so. It says she worth $550 million, and then it was saying he was worth 20 in that article. So it was like,
it's just like,
but this thing I'm reading here says that he's worth $45 million. That monthly he makes $500,000 monthly. His salary $6 million. Something is.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's not poor.
It's like,
but it's just like,
you gotta think about it. These kids are being born into rich kid lifestyle. Like these are baby mamas. These aren't wives. So they live in extravagant lifestyles. They got that Nick Cannon check. They got that Incredible check, and they're probably running the fuck up. I don't know if 20 to 45 million is going to be enough to sustain a rich kid lifestyle. Like those babies are probably drinking liquid gold.
Yeah,
but he ain't got no babies by those slackers though.
I know that
everybody that he has a baby by they all got their own money.
Okay,
so you know what I'm saying?
I mean, Mariah, yeah, I get what you're saying. They're not like, just living off of their own, living.
Yeah, but I'm saying you got Mariah. One of them is the ex, I think, Miss Universe or Miss one of them. Then you got another one that's a model. One of them used to be a model. The black one used to be a model on Price is Right. All of them have like their own careers and are all it. Because like I said, when the thing came out, I said, well, let me look at who are they? I knew it was 12 women,
ask,
but 12 babies. But I was
why is Nick Cannon doing this? Why aren't we? Why don't we talk to the women? Like, why don't we? Because it's literally their body, their choice. And they always make the choice, six of them now, right? To say, yes, I'm going to give this man a baby. That's what I want to do.
They're in agreement with it. But is it good for the kids, though? Is their body?
Is it good for the kids? No, but we can't solely blame him. Like, he's not doing this alone. He's not creating these lives by himself. Like, what? Because, yeah, if these women have their own things, I can't truly say they're there just for the Nick Cannon check. Because, yeah, like I was saying, 20 million.
They got their own checks. Like they got their own checks. When you look at who the moms are.
They got their own checks, but you can't, come on. They're taking some of that Nick Cannon check too now.
Well, who? Yeah,
So
they are. I mean,
Oh, shit.
Mariah had her own check, but I'm sure Mariah still get the Nick Cannon check too, and she worth how many times what he's worth? But
a
I'm
lot,
sure she still make him right. I just said hers was 550 million,
way a
so
lot.
I'm sure she still get that child support though. But it ain't about. I'm sure that's not why she had the babies with Nick Cannon. She
But
didn't
Probably get
need
that
his
many
child
child support,
support.
to be honest.
yeah, yeah, I'm
You know
sure.
what I'm
Well,
saying?
she's probably with him for other reasons that had nothing to do with money. But yeah, she was with him for that. But I can't say the same for these other girls.
Cause he a
Yeah,
gigolo,
yeah,
spending lots
Model,
of
yeah,
dough.
but Model ain't making Nick Cannon money. Miss
Ain't nobody
Universe ain't
said they
making
was making.
money.
Ain't no. Yeah, okay. I didn't say that they were making it. Clearly, Nick Cannon ain't making the money that you thought was Nick Cannon money.
But
You know what
I
I'm
saw
saying?
you
he
Because
complaining.
more,
even
I
the
bet he
level that
makes
we
more
thought,
than all of them put them together. I bet he does.
Hmm?
I could be wrong, but I bet he makes more than all six of them put.
Maybe if he
Not
do
count
another
Mariah
season
Carey.
of Real Husbands of Hollywood, he'll get another
you
10
know what? He
mil.
might make more than all of them put together. But regardless of whether he makes more than all of them put together, the thing of it is how are the what kind of time is he spending with them? Is he putting time in? Are they living all as one big happy family? Like, we make a lot of it about the money, but it's not just about the money.
I said that. I understand that. I'm saying the reason why they would to get with him and don't mind having all these kids with him is because of the money he makes. If he was somebody that was making their kind of money, I don't think there would be
Well,
just
shit.
being having kids with a kind of guy like that. If he was making six figures, I don't think they'd be having kids and be like, "Oh yeah, you can have other kids with other people." I want you to just be here with me. And with that being said, because he has that kind of money, I think he's able to get away with that. Where I don't think he's in a financial stable spot that other people aren't. But people who make less money or guys who make less money definitely don't get away with that kind of thing.
Hell the fuck nah. But
And that's financially. Emotionally, I think that's immature. We're talking about emotionally immature. I think that's emotionally immature to put these kids in this spot, no matter how much money you get. You can be Jeff Bezos, to not be able to be in their kid's life and put in time and effort that they need as a father is emotionally immature on his
But let's
part.
go back to the exact reason this was a segue, which is now I've been microdosing. Oh, full disclosure, I've been microdosing my mushrooms, so my brain just does different things now. He said God told him to do this, and if we go back to our book of Ezekiel or whichever one, this is literally something that is biblical. Noah had many, many children with many, many wives. There are specific sections in the Bible where that when they were raping and pillaging all throughout the lands that they had conquered, they would take many wives and as many as they wanted and have as many children as they wanted. This is something that a lot of men practice. Like, and he has a I don't want to say life disease. He has lupus, correct?
Lupus, yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to make it seem like it's life threatening, but I also don't want to downplay it. When you're faced with your own mortality, that could make you want to leave your mark upon this world. And nobody wants to go out leaving the mark of gigolo and and underclassmen. Y'all remember but you
Yeah.
know what? Love Don't Cost a Thing. It's a guilty pleasure movie. That's fine. But what I'm saying is you don't want to. I could see him. That's the only way a man can truly be immortal is what he leaves in this world, and that would be our children because they carry on our name. People that are going to love you, people that are going to remember you, people that are going to carry on your essence. Now, I do completely agree. It is emotionally irresponsible to create all these children, knowing you cannot give all of them your time and attention. It takes two people to create children. So it's emotionally like that. This is the result of two emotionally irresponsible people creating children, although they're both fiscally well off. Like this is basically problems out of our tax bracket, people. These are rich people issues. I can't tell a motherfucker that's worth 20 million or 45 million. Shit, I can't tell a motherfucker that's worth 2 or 5 million what they should be doing in terms of the life or the things in life that they see. They keep trying to cut my Viacom CBS. It's not going to stop this word from getting out. Goddamn. I don't know what Nick Cannon got planning or what he got planned. I think he plans on being wiped off the face of the earth. I think he's afraid of just facing his own mortality And the best way to go about these kind of things is contractually. It's that conversation of being more logical about it. You know what I'm saying? Does he have the time to give to these women to be their husband? No, not all of them. Does he have the time to give to these children to be what a father actually needs to be? No, not all of them. But yeah, they're all of these people are living in different worlds, no matter where they come from.
Well, I hate that, you know, I know he was saying, yeah, God is going to be the final decision whether he has kids or not. But God also gave him the gift of discernment too. So I don't like him using that as an excuse because you also have control over your own sperm bank or whatever you want to call it. He has the final decision on whether they could do this or not. Him and the women he's with. Um, he has to think of it from a practical situation. Like, am I going to be able to be there for these kids emotionally? Am I going to be able to render them a positive lifestyle? Because I mean, there's a lot of people, like I said, that got a lot of money. Hell, we can look at the new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air show and how Carlton is. They have a lot of money, but he's got a lot of problems internally because
That boy be coked up.
yeah, there's a lot of people going to end up being on drugs because they feel like the father figure is not there, the mother figure is not there, like they're supposed to be. Money can't fix everything, you know, and they can develop trauma based off of that and carry that with them when they grow up because he wasn't there when they needed him to be there. He can't possibly be there. It's not even like one of those Sister Wives type shows where that, you know, they got all the family living within a mile of each other where they can just go to house to house to house to house and visit them. They're spread out. I think is very immature, like I said, on both parties to do this. You know, Nick Cannon, and like I said, I'm not going slack on Nick Cannon for doing this, but it's absolutely up to him to whether he wants to have more kids or not. The problem, I think, is I think it plays a small part where he's talking about he has lupus and he wants to leave a legacy, but there's something else. I don't know what it is. It's something missing.
It's something else. It's unsettling. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and act like this is just altruistic means of a man wanting to, you know, just really create children to remember him or to love the way children deserve to be loved when they're brought into this world because they don't ask to be. But this is a generation that we've been living in this kind of generation. Like people have been planning things out based upon how they want their lives to go, and children have just been a byproduct of that. Case in point, all these mothers who are now quitting their jobs because they want to be TikTok content creators, and all of their content is literally just based around exploiting their child. They're exploiting their, you know, just exploiting them being mothers. Just like I saw a video the other day of a woman forcing her daughter to do a TikTok video. Her daughter was tired. She wanted to take a nap. She probably wanted to eat some fucking gushers, some gummy bears or some shit, and watch Dr. McStuffins. But you needed to pump out this content because do you want to eat? Do you want new clothes? And it's like people force their children to live out. Yeah, we really live out our dreams and the things we weren't able to accomplish in our own lives vicariously through our children. And that's not fair to them. And when we don't have things go right in our lives, we kind of try to dictate it in our children's lives. So and the fact down to the point that we create children irresponsibly, people that we don't plan on being with. We create children when we don't plan on constantly being in the home with them, because I think both parents should be there. These women have lives too. These women aren't just sitting around the house waiting for the Nick Cannon check. As we said, they have things that they have to get out and do as well. So they're having to be away from their child as well. So these babies are being left in the care of nannies, right? But we're critiquing it because it's Nick Cannon, because we know his name, because he has not only a lot of checks, but he has blue checks next to his fucking name. We're doing this as regular people, not us, but we as in society are doing this at the same rate. I can think of at least several people now that have multiple children from different homes, and they're not the provider in any of these homes, but and they definitely don't have 20 million or 45 million in the bank account. We have to change ourselves on the base level, but celebrities allow us to project these things that we hate about ourselves. Because how could y'all do it? How could y'all be out here creating baby mamas and broken homes and shit? Didn't y'all leave the hood for that? But the thing is, you're right. They left the hood for that. They're rich now. they can do whatever they want with their lives because they're creating their lives. They're creating the lives that they want to live. They're creating their own reality. And we're just reacting to it, literally and metaphorically at the same. That's kind of meta because we are reacting to it right now. I can't tell Nick Cannon what the fuck to do. I'd be wilding out.
I can offer my opinion. That's all we can do. It is
Keep
his
your dick in
life.
your pants, Nick. Keep
You
your
know.
dick in your knickerbockers.
Yeah, but that's also, I think, too, a selfish thing too. Is yes, his life, but his life immensely affects those kids' lives,
It does.
and he doesn't think about that. I don't think.
Somebody should take those kids away from him. Then somebody we should call CPS on Nick Cannon and his 6 wives or his 6 baby mamas, and we should have those children confiscated and then put into the justice system, right? Like that would be the next course of action if we truly feel like, because what else can we do? Nick Cannon, if you're watching this shit, stop it, Nicholas.
Well, you better call yourself God on that one.
Yeah, because I ain't tell him to do none of this shit. He's saying it's all up to God. I gave him no credence on. I gave him. Don't lie. That's false claiming. Sparky, go ahead. You look like you had something to say. My fault.
Oh no, you good. I'm just sitting here. I mean, I think it's really irresponsible for somebody to have that many kids. And I understand that they can do it financially. I do understand that part. All the baby moms, from what I see, are millionaires themselves. One of them is actually Johnny Manziel's ex-wife.
Oh,
so that's what I'm saying.
She broke the hell off.
Must be her money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. One of the baby mamas is her. She's one of them. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not slackers who he had babies with. So, you know what I'm saying? They didn't need his bread. But I also think it could be a situation where, you know how sometimes a woman wants to have kids, but she might not be in a relationship that, or the type of relationship she wants. So she gets a guy to have a kid with. And whether the guy is there or not, she can kind of handle it on her own.
I literally watched the whole movie about that. And it's,
you know what I'm saying?
Mama.
So it might be, you know, that type of situation why they're picking him, because, you know, they may feel like this is going to be less interference from the man, maybe. You know what I'm saying? If they're trying to do it on their own. I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about the situation or what kind of dad
as we saw, single motherhood is a thing.
But isn't he? And correct me. I'm not sure. He's dating, isn't he? Dating these people, or is he with these people?
Yeah, like they talk about him having one of the women talked about their open relationship.
Okay, so is it open for him or is it open for both?
I mean, she probably getting some separate dick too. She probably not only getting.
I don't know. I always think that thing is crazy. That the whole, you know, more than one person, but it's okay for the guys, but not for the women. The whole shit is crazy.
Shit, it's okay for the women now. Ask Jada.
Oh yeah. And let me interject this. This is kind of off subject, but with the subject, what LT just said. Tomorrow, Netflix is probably having the Chris Rock comedy special, which he's supposed to be talking about the Will and Jada incident from last year.
You got to start with that, Christopher. Ooh. You got to start. He got to come out and he got to have a Will Smith pinata, and he got to punch it in. He got to beat the shit out of it, and then he got to play the Everybody Hates Chris theme song, but put Will Smith name on it.
He's gonna be here. He's gonna be here in March. Chris Rock gonna be here the 21st and the 22nd in Charlotte.
Oh, word.
Yeah, that might be worth going to see.
I fuck with Chris Rock as a comedian. He funny.
What with
I love CB.
When in March you supposed to be here?
Huh? The 21st and the 22nd of March. I just happened to see it the other day when I was riding in, but he's not gonna be at the Coliseum. He's gonna be at Bojangles, so the tickets might not be as bad.
Bojangles.
But yeah, Bojangles Arena. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's
you thought I meant like Bojangles.
Damn, Chris Rock fell off. That didn't help anything.
I forgot, you know what I'm saying? Bojangles, people Bojangles Arena.
Come to Bojangles and get you a 2-piece and a sweet tea. You can come down and get a Chris Rock specially autographed picture for $5. Why don't you come join us?
Right.
I don't want a picture with Chris Rock. He's not that funny.
I love that dude. He's one of my
I
favorite.
Nah,
fuck
you
with
missed
Chris.
the beginning of it, LC. He was saying he was making that joke because when I said he was gonna be at Bojangles, I didn't say
Oh shit,
Bojangles
he gonna be a
Arena. So
Bojangles. I was
he
about to
like,
see him.
see, there you go. same
See?
thing.
Mhm.
See, like I was like, I'm not going to a Coliseum. He gonna be at Bojangles.
I was
I
like, he ain't sold out. He's still real. He at Bojangles.
I'm about to say like, because I mean, a stadium is cool. I just feel like Chris Rock would be so funny at a chicken restaurant. Like if he worked at a chicken place telling jokes, I would go there all the time. It would just make a lot of sense. I feel like that's where Chris's character was headed. I've been rewatching Everybody Hates Chris too.
It'd be a good entertainment. Like some restaurants got somebody playing piano, fancy restaurants, but at Bojangles, he'd be doing stand up in the middle of it. I'd love it.
Yeah, still wearing the Bojangles outfit, still wearing the Bojangles uniform. He just got a microphone and he just, tell you jokes while you enjoying your Bo-Berry biscuit and shit.
All right. Let's move on to the next subject. Let's see, Sparky. I think you put this in the group this week or last week. You put in about karmic relationships. Another way, I guess, to choose someone that's supposed to be for you or for your season or for your purpose. Got a video for it. Let's see it right quick.
Listen to this.
Going off of compatibility just by itself can be a trap. Because first off, you can be compatible with a demon. Like devils know what you like too. The type of women that you like, you want her to have more curves in the highway. The type of man that you like, you want him tall with broad shoulders and a beard. The enemy can send you pain gift wrapped as your preference. So that's just the first thing about how compatibility can be a trap. The second thing is compatibility is season based. It is possible for you to be compatible with the season of their struggle, but not the season of their success. I want somebody who's going to be there for me if I hit rock bottom. Well, what if they can only handle your rock bottom, but they can't handle your upward season? So now the question becomes, are we really compatible? Or do we just share similar dysfunction? We're both broken in the same area. We're both wounded over the same things. We have the same feelings over the same wounds, so we end up sharing hearts. But what happens if one of you heals and the other one doesn't? Because just because you heal doesn't mean that they're going to heal. And just because you heal doesn't mean that you can make them heal. What happens if one of you heal? You will remove what y'all had in common. And I want us to be so whole and so secure that when we heal, we don't end up feeling guilty because they're crawling, but we now have wings.
Okay. That's a pretty powerful message. I'm gonna ask this one question though. Of both of y'all, how would you know? Because he was talking about you could be compatible for two different purposes. You could be compatible when you hit rock bottom. You could be compatible when you're in your upward season. How would you know, though? In the beginning, I guess. How would you know if you're already in a good space and you never know what can happen? Maybe you can get sick and lose everything, or just, how would you know that person would be able to handle the downward part of your life? Or vice versa. If you're in rock bottom, how would you know that person can handle the upswing and wouldn't feel jealous if one person got up and the other person stays down? How would you know that person can handle each way of where the relationship can go? Sparky, what do you think about that? I agree with what he's saying, but I'm like, how would you know though?
The thing that's bad is I really don't even think that you would know until you get like deep into it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like until you hit the rock bottom, or you do the dip and then you do the come back up, you would have no way of knowing that they could only deal with you, in your rock bottom. It's crazy to think that you could be with a person that only want to deal with you while you bad. But it makes sense. I understand it.
Yeah.
Not like I understand that it should be, but I can see that in situations. That's what I'm saying. I really don't think that you could know. I don't think that there's something that a person could do that could be almost like a red flag unless you're going through it. Unless like when you in a situation, whenever you do something good or something that's beneficial and your partner either isn't happy for you, or doesn't necessarily congratulate you. They may feel like they're in competition, which you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing. But still, even in that, you wouldn't know until you get there and you see them acting a particular way or reacting a particular way to your success.
Yeah,
Word.
I agree. Unless that person has been through both parts of his life like that, I don't know how you would know that. Now, well, LT, I'll let you answer that question. Then I got another follow up question with that. What is there a way to know if someone can handle both the downswing and upswing of someone's life?
Ooh, damn. Held that in for a minute. But I agree wholeheartedly, especially with that last part. That the last part, Sparky said, is the best. I think one of the best ways to know. Can you be happy around this person? Can you be happy autonomously? You know what I'm saying? Can you do something for you and they be happy for you? Can they do something for themselves and you be happy for them? Is your first thought of, damn, that should have happened to me? Is their first thought of, or is like when you bring that, hey babe, I got the I sent out my application, I finally got a response. I got an interview on Wednesday. Why not? You really like if their immediate responses to shit on what you obtained or just not to support, then yeah, I think that's a big red flag. I think that's a good sign. I do agree. You won't know that until you get to know a person. I think the larger message behind the karmic relationship is no one is put in your path for any, like no one is putting you in your path coincidentally. There is no such thing as coincidence. The karmic relationship is not someone that you're supposed to stay with. I strongly believe that they can just be a seasonal person. They're there to teach you a lesson. They're there that if you believe in past life regression, you believe in being an old soul, this person was put in your path so that you can grow as well. You know what I'm saying? It's not just meant for you to, oh, you've been through the same kind of trauma I've been through. Let's bond over this trauma and only live in that. If your relationship is born in trauma, it's going to reside and die in trauma. You need to be you like this person, and it's okay to have these things in common. But yeah, pay attention to, is this person helping you change those things about yourself? Hey, you said that you're stressed because you're lacking this. We're together, so I should be helping you with that. Am I helping you with that, or am I just making you feel comfortable in the fact that you lack it still? Are you just making me feel comfortable in my stagnation? Are you just making me feel comfortable in the fact that I'm being a victim and I'm not doing anything about my situation? So yeah, the karmic relationship, it's there to teach you something you need to learn in order for you to progress. And sometimes you're not that for that person. We and some we're not very accepting of our, or we're not very willing to say that for ourselves either. Because especially, yeah, it's tough to be in the position where they've healed and you haven't. They're up and you're down. Can you be that? Like, it's we don't ask ourselves that question a lot. We really frame things in the sense of, can this person be with me when I'm down? Can this person be with me when I'm up? But can we mentally be there with the person when they're down? Can we mentally be there with the person when they're up and we're down? When the dynamic changes, you know. So the karmic lesson is very important. I think that was a dope ass video. And yeah, instead of just looking at bank accounts and sexual preference and shit, we should start looking at how are we compatible for a season? Are we compatible for years? Are we compatible spirits?
Mhm. Which go ahead, Sparky, if you have something to say. Go
No,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think that that's one thing that he was trying to get us to say too, or see too, is sometimes you get what you, well, not sometimes, you get what you ask for. Like there's life and death in the
Ooh,
power
good.
of the tongue. So if when you're thinking about what you want for in your, you know, in your partner, is that, like he said, I want somebody that can hold me down when I'm down. Well, if that's what you want, then that's what you getting. You know,
Mhm.
if you're not speaking that, you want somebody that can grow with you, somebody that can be your air beneath your wings when your arms get tired. You know, while you out here trying to build whatever, if you're not specific, if you're not, you know, if you only want, you know,
The
somebody that
devil's
you
in
know
the
can,
details.
You know, yeah, I want a husband. Well, you're not specific about what type of husband you get, so you get one, but he ain't
You
good
can
to
get
you.
a husband,
You
but
know
you
what I'm
might
saying?
get
You
a
can get a husband, but it's so you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Well, first of all, I say write the vision and make it plain. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta write it and you have to make it plain. You gotta be detailed. So if you but that's what I think that's what he was trying to say too is, when we're thinking about what we want somebody that can hold us down, you know. Well, yeah, you do want that, but you want somebody that could be there for you while you up. But I guess we just assume sometimes that a person would be there for you while you up. So I guess maybe people don't think that they need
because
to
they're
speak
currently still
that
down at
part.
that moment. They're in that
Mhm.
they're mentally still down. They're mentally still they're only thinking about where they currently are. They can't see
And then
past
we
their
all
current
in the law
position.
of attraction. That's right. And we're all in the law of attraction. So if that's all you see, that's
Mhm,
all you attracting. You
mhm.
already down, that's the lowest vibration that there is, that poor woe is me. You know what I'm saying? So you
Victim.
out here with the poor woe is me, you victim in it. You want a dude that or woman that can hold you down while you in the
Some
gutter. You know what I'm saying? That's
I
what you're
need a girl
getting.
that's gonna
That's yeah,
pay for my PlayStation games ahead of time. I need pre-order shit.
right. And that's what they getting, can't see past that or can't want anything more, can't see anything more. If you can't see it, you can't be it. So if all you do is see yourself doing this or being this low, you looking for somebody that's matching that energy instead of being grateful for where you're going. You know what I'm saying? And attracting something not better, but attracting something that's vibrating higher.
When you're walking in your purpose, you attract what's for you. When you're constantly trying to walk in other people's purpose, walk in the purpose of walk in society's purpose, or you're just filling a void. Usually, that's what we're doing when we jump into relationships. We're just filling a void because we're lacking something, and we now make it that person's responsibility to provide us what we're lacking. You know what I'm saying? I'm lacking financial security, so my partner has to be someone who is financially secure. I'm lacking confidence in my sexual prowess, so my partner needs to be someone who can do this sexually, who can do that sexually. I'm lacking something myself, so I'm going to project that. I'm going to project my impossible ideals and notions of what a partner should be onto someone before I make that requirement of myself. Because if someone else fills that requirement for me, I don't have to do it myself. We're all looking for a safe, men
Don't
and women.
nobody want to do the work. We gotta
Yeah.
do the work. We have to do the work.
Everybody
Well,
want to be the boss. Don't nobody want to work.
I'll say this: you, if you are able to point that out, that flaw into somebody that you don't think they're going to be around for you for all seasons, I would say is somebody who just cares about self-preservation. Which a lot of times in today's society, that's what we tell people to care about. And there's nothing wrong with caring about yourself, but I think sometimes people take it a little bit too far and don't care about the other person. I want somebody, and no one ever seems to say that in these things, is just love. I want somebody to be my love wheel. If you're a love
It's good word.
wheel,
I like that word.
if you're a love wheel, whether you're a wheelbarrow or you're a Lamborghini, you're still going to get your destination. You're still going to get wherever you need to go. Whether you have to change whatever vehicle that carries you to your destination, whether you're poor and you have to go on a rinky-dink bicycle to get to your destination, the wheel still is going to get me there. Be my wheel. If you upgrade and you get to the happy moments, ride with me in the happy moments. You still be my love wheel. Whether, like I said, whether you're a wheelbarrow or a Lamborghini, be my wheel, be my love wheel.
I like that because we
You
usually
still
say
that.
"be my rock," and I like just in the literal sense. A rock
Rock
is something
sink.
that's stationary. They sink. That's something that's stationary. It don't move. You could be
It
between a
holds
rock
stuff
and a hard.
down. People,
You could be held
Mhm.
down, and you in between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, an anchor can hold you down or drown you.
Yeah.
Move with me. Don't keep me in the same
Yeah,
spot.
progress. Like I want to be. I want a movement. I want
Yeah,
action.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Because it's
saying? I
life.
want trajectory.
Yeah, life. You're guaranteed to change at some point. If you don't change, you ain't living.
That's right.
There's
Life
no
is about
way anyone
metamorphosis.
should be the same when they were 20 years old than when they're 40. You should be able to change and hopefully progress. And hopefully your person is going to help you progress. They're going to, follow your actions to the positive side and not drive you down. But like I said, it's hard. It's really hard because, some people don't show who they are to a year, 5 years, or until a situation pops up. So it's hard. You just gotta try to have the best form of discernment that you can possibly to try to figure out who they are. But it's not always 100% possible to know who people are until you go to that situation. Which is why I always said I just don't mess with that many people. I don't have that many friends like that unless we go through stuff. If I go through stuff with you, you're a friend for life. It's hard to have new friends because sometimes you gotta go through stuff to know if they're gonna really be there for you when times get rough. And it's even harder, I guess, when you get in a relationship, a brand new relationship, knowing where they're going to go. You kind of have to trust their words. You can see some of their actions, but a lot of times, until you get sick or lose everything or lose a loved one, and you're going through depression, you don't see how they really will react until they're in that situation. You gotta have to go off of what they say they will do.
They were not with you shooting in the gym. And
All right.
that's what we'll find.
Okay. Y'all have anything else to say on that before we go to the next one?
Nah.
Okay. All right. Well, you brought this on yourself, LT, because we're going to the Kanye story.
Oh, God damn.
Yeah, I try to give you an out, man. All right.
No, I got something needs to be said about this imposter.
Oh yeah. So Kanye, if you haven't heard, may be getting back with Adidas because Adidas supposedly has like almost $1 billion worth of sneakers that they got left in the basement that they're trying to get rid of, and they're gonna have to either burn it or just cut their losses if they're not able to sell these things. And so I don't think they're partnering up to work together again, like permanently. I think they're trying to get together just to make a little small sale, put his name back on it, and then get rid of him. Who knows what they're going to do afterwards? But they probably all going to get back together, because if what he said was supposed to be so effective that their feelings were so hurt that they had to cut ties with him, why would you bring him back? So it makes me think eventually they're going to form a partnership with him. All things will be forgiven and, yada, yada, yada. And it also makes me think too, because I'm going to put it on both sides. Kanye didn't have no damn plan to go sell these shoes on his own. Like everybody said he did this on purpose to cut ties with him. He ain't did it yet. And he was trying to get with Skechers again at one point. So why would you even go back to Adidas? I think they both need each other or want each other. I think Kanye could do this on his own, but he won't. Adidas wants to make the money because, hey, somebody makes billions of dollars of money. Yeah, that's a lot of money, but people want to make more money. So they don't want to lose that much. So they're going to end up working together. Problem is, I guess none of that stuff really mattered in the end anyway, what he had to say. Because if it really did, why would they allow him to come back? Why would they have cut ties with him in the first place? It ain't even been a year since all that stuff went down. Feels like it. So what do y'all think is the course of action going forward with those two? You think they're going to end up working together long term after this? Or you think this is just a short term thing? Sell those rest of those Kanye ugly sneakers and then they're going to move on?
Oh, is this open discussion?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to. I kind of think that it's going to be a one and done.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think they're going to set it up where it's going to be beneficial for both of them to get in there, get the sneaker sold, and then kind of cut their ties with each other. But I also think that by them doing business again, Adidas has basically let it be known that you can say and do whatever the hell you want to.
Mm-hmm.
If it come down to that bottom line, and it's about moving it in the right direction, we don't care what the hell you do. We gonna get these sneakers sold.
That's all that mattered.
So, that's all that really mattered. You know what I'm saying? But to me though, even when they came out and didn't support him, I feel like sometimes some of the companies just jumped on the bandwagon. They might not have even necessarily had a problem with what he was really saying or doing. It just was, oh well, that's the thing
they
to
had
do
a
right
problem
now.
with
it. I think they did.
I gotta, guys, taking off the
Go
shades.
ahead.
No.
Uh-oh.
I gotta get because I want to look directly in the camera when I say this. This is not Kanye West.
Uh,
I do not think this is Kanye. And if it is Kanye West, he is heavily medicated. He is under duress. He is not doing anything in his own will. There is no way that you can make me believe that a person who is just yelling at the top of his lungs about Nazis and Hitler and his daughters being victims of the porn industry that is Hollywood. There is no way that a man that was just yelling and screaming about all these things at the top of his lung, yelling at me via Twitter every damn day, via Instagram, long ass posts every fucking day, is now just spotted out happy with another white wife. Like, and people are just commenting, sure is good to see him happy. Sure is good to see Kanye. Marriage looks good on you. Like people, like we've just forgotten that he was quote unquote anti-Semitic. Adidas has a surplus of Yeezys that are not being bought because they cut ties with Yeezy. They still want to sell these fucking shoes. His wife, this white woman that we see him with, started working for Yeezy in 2020. The woman that he's married to right now, currently, that they've only been married for like a few months or whatever. He married out of nowhere, like after, kind of going crazy after his divorce with Kim Kardashian, threatening to kill Pete Davidson. Remember when he did all of that shit? Yeah, he married this woman unbeknownst to anyone. Just popped up. Yeah, like, and also, guess what? This woman is in charge of all of Kanye's finances and businesses. She answers his phone. She takes all of his calls. I took some excerpts from some things about this woman. Let's see. Kanye West's new wife, Bianca Censori, runs the show, including his daily schedule in all business decisions. All business decisions. Let's see. Kanye West's new wife runs the show, including his daily schedule, and deals with all of his business affairs, the source told the USA Sun. Let's see. Oh, my bad. I screenshotted it. Married life is going well as they built up a strong friendship and working relationship. Bianca having been a key part of Yeezy since November of 2020. Although fans were surprised by the match, the insider said their connection is deeper than the surface level, and they consider themselves a married couple and both have rings. They consider themselves that. This was in February, like of this year. It was completely private and a surprise to the world. There's no way Kim knew, the source said. And so this implies that Kanye was also having another affair behind Kim's back with this woman, Bianca. But Ye had talked about having a wife again for months, living a Christian life and cleaning up his wrongdoings. He's been spotted with a number of women since the split, including a short-lived fling with actress Julia Fox, more recently Brazilian supermodel Juliana Nalu. All of these are white women. The source explained Bianca runs the show. She has been around Ye for about 3 years, only 3 years, and she's running all of his business assets. Things got serious really fast in mid-November of last year, like literally just last year. Bianca handles Ye's daily logistics, from Yeezy clothing management to construction of the new Yeezy headquarters and the Donda Academy, where they were teaching people about Hitler. Not people, kids. Keisha Cole's kid. She takes all his calls and all business affairs go through her. It seems to be working out well so far. So it seems like the media is in on it as well. They're cooperating with this woman that we don't fucking know. She's from Melbourne, Australia, all the way down under. And she came to America and just married one of the most influential black men. Now, and I had to say something about it my goddamn self. All these random white women next to Kanye West is cause for concern. These are clearly handlers and people meant to keep him from talking about certain things. Because it's a white woman, y'all don't see it as a threat. But for a black man in the entertainment industry, they've always been a tool used in our demise. Honestly, for black men in general. Everyone acting like what's been happening with him had all magically stopped because he's photographed smiling with a woman is not a sign that he is okay. We are being distracted, and this is what the media wants us to see. They need to sell them fucking Yeezys, and the only way they're going to be able to sell them is if Ye is attached. Ye ain't saying shit. He's just picked. With more and more random white women. Did y'all not see the text messages from his previous handler threatening to send him back to the psych ward that he got sent to in 2016? That's why he was on medication. Yeah, he got threatening text messages, and he showed him that was probably the last honest thing he communicated to social media, where his handler, or excuse me, a random white man, I'll get his name, I'll put it in the chat next time, or I'll put it in the chat tonight after this, or when I find it, that is known for using biochemical warfare for the military. So going over to other countries and basically taking out their military by making them sick, either through vomiting or mental psychosis. And this was a person that was texting Kanye West saying that if you want your playtime, or if you want the next playtime with the kids to be anything close to normal, I'm paraphrasing here, then you'll stop saying what you're saying or some shit. Basically saying that, hey, get the fuck off of Twitter before I have you doped up and recommitted to the psych ward. Kanye West needs our help, but he does not need our help by us buying Yeezys. He needs our help in a whole different kind of fucking way.
What do you suggest we do for this fake Yeezy that you're saying is out?
Just more of that. Let them know that we know. That's all we can do is be aware. All we can do is be aware that is not Kanye West. And then when we give our money, I'm not, because I have never paid for a fucking Yeezy and I refuse to. I think they're ugly and overpriced. And that right there should make y'all not want them. That right there. They dropped this nigga when he said some shit that was honest to him. Some stuff that a person that is so tapped in, more tapped in than any human being that we could ever imagine. Like, he's been in rooms that we can only dream of. So he's probably gotten a set of, we call him a genius so damn much. So he's probably gotten a set of knowledge and intelligence that we haven't got. That man is going crazy under the stress of that knowledge. The weight of wisdom is a heavy burden, and heavy is the head that wears the crown. Kanye West tried to tell us some things. That's why he had his face blocked out, most likely. I don't know. I can't predict this man's patterns because they are that of a person that was already diagnosed bipolar, that was put under even more prescription medication, and not to his benefit, as we can see. Like, it's, and then we saw him on Drink Champs, drinking and smoking. That's not something that a person with mental disorder should be doing. Come on now. But living a Christian life, like, again, using keywords like Christian lifestyle, that is literally just a new way to say white American. Christian just means white. You might as well have said evangelicus or evangelical. Like, Kanye West is on the, we got to stop supporting. We just got to stop supporting. We got to stop supporting him. I didn't watch the Grammys. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. We got to stop. We got to stop paying attention to their institutions. We got to stop giving money to Nike. Nike is a Greek god that served at the side of Zeus, and Zeus don't like black people. Like, we are Moorish. I'm surprised my mic hasn't been cut yet. I don't know what else I can say before they get to me. Jesus's real name was Yeshua. Jesus is the Roman pronunciation. We are under the control of gay Roman white men.
I want whatever you have that you have rolled up today. No, but I get what you're saying.
It's the mushroom microdosing. Trust me.
I got what you're saying.
I'm not a part of the 85%.
Well, here's why. Yeah,
the actual raw mushrooms, or you messing with gummies and chocolates or something?
No, the lion's mane.
I'm familiar.
Well, here's why that will never happen. They're not going to stop supporting him regardless, because even if Kanye West was dead, as long as his name's attached to it, they're going to still put money into it. You know, people still put money into people who have been gone and dead for decades now. As long as they got a face to put towards them shoes, they're going to support it. The reason why they won't support them because they didn't have a face to it the last few months. So that's not going to go away.
Ace Works.
I don't see that ever going away. So I think they're actually going to form a relationship again, whether this is the real Yeezy or the fake one. I think they're going to end up forming a relationship again. Maybe not immediately, but I think once they see how these sales are going to go, and then they look at their bottom line, because it sounds like, I don't know if that's half of their profit per year that they're about to lose if Kanye.
It's a nice, pretty penny, though.
Yeah,
Very pretty penny.
I heard about what, 1 billion, something around that they would
Yeah,
lose.
that's a nice, pretty penny.
Am
But
I-
see, what was crazy to me is I can't understand why they wouldn't do something like, if they were really gonna lose it, instead of just getting rid of the merchandise, why not like donate it? You know what I'm saying? They could donate it. Let me tell you what. Hold on. Listen,
I'm sorry,
if they throw it away, it's trash. But if they donate it, let's say to somebody like what we were talking about a couple weeks ago with the thing with Africa, you know, when we went over there and gave all the shoes away, it's a write-off. At least they would be writing it off as opposed to just
It
throwing
would
it
be
away
a write-off,
and
but
getting
they
rid of.
know they don't have to write it off. They like that would probably be their last resort. They're like, this is corporate America. Their last resort is to do something for the people. Their last,
But
hey,
it wouldn't really be for the
thing.
people. Of course, it wouldn't really be for the people. It would just, the people getting it would be a byproduct of them getting this tax write-off. You know, it wouldn't
They
be
would get the
about
tax
people.
write-off, but they know they can get people. Honestly, people are getting their taxes now, and they know they can get that little bit of money they gave us right the fuck back by getting some fucking Yeezy. Because if their choices came down to a tax write-off or just getting us to pay for it, 10 times out of 10, no, they're gonna buy this shit. We're gonna resell it, and they're gonna buy it.
I think what Spark is saying, if they were to do that and just to use it as a tax write-off and give it to impoverished people, I think that would be an image thing, and that would make them look good in their eyes.
I do get that. Yes. It would definitely be good for their image, but I also I think they don't really give a fuck. I think them partnering with Kanye West, I feel like they would honestly feel like that's all we need to do for our image, because they know that that's going to cover profit. That's going to cover profit margin. If they because people are already saying Kanye West has won. Like, I've seen so many people share another person's status of saying it's crazy how Kanye West has won in the end. What did he win? That was his shit.
Right.
That's like if someone come in your house, take your fucking shoes, and just debo your shit, and you get it back. Like, you didn't win. You got your stuff back. Like,
I'll let you be here while we sell your shoes, but after that, you gotta get out.
Like, there's no win in getting back something that, like, the fuck. Like, it's not something to celebrate, because one, it should have never. The reason Kanye West even had to be with Adidas in the first place is because we as Black people don't support our community and our culture enough. Like, we only support it when it is attached to when white people have their attachment to it. Like, think about this. Hip hop is solely created by Black and brown people, but what Black or brown person can say they own hip hop? Like, how many Black and brown people are at the upper echelon, executive level, distribution level in hip hop? None. I was about to lie. None. It's all
the distribution level. Yeah, I can't think of one.
That's plenty of them. That's when we're getting to the Rick Rubins, to the Leor Cohens, to the fucking insert Stein or Berg somewhere here in this shit. And that's the level of ownership. That's the level of ownership. There are old white families that already owned things that Black people created. They already owned not only things that Black people created in terms of inventions, but in terms of people. There are white families that own music catalogs of Black artists solely because they inherited it, because their father was an early investor in the fucking Wu-Tang Clan. As we're seeing on the Wu-Tang Clan, or you've gotten you've seen the little white boy that's chasing them around trying to sign them and shit. It's a little Jewish white kid he means well. He's just a really good fan of hip hop, and he's got a rich dad, who's, Dad, I really believe in this thing, and that's That's how a lot of early funding for hip hop came through. That's how it became a business. We don't truly own anything, and that's how it can always be taken from us. That's how they took Yeezy from him. They took something he created, something that literally bears his name, but because it's got those 3 stripes on it, because because he has to distribute it through him, because we as Black people wouldn't go out and support it. We wouldn't pay the hundreds of dollars he was asking for us to pay unless it had something we recognized on it. Because look at other Black clothing lines where we support, because I'm not even gonna stunt. I was not wearing P. Miller shit. We automatically associate that with being poor, with being broke. Why? Because it doesn't have white attachment to it. Because it's not something that you can find, on the fashion, on the runways of Paris at motherfucking Fashion Week. Like, motherfucker, like, do we really care about fashion like that? That's why hip hop is a little gay. No offense. Like, I mean that well. Like, it's cool that everybody's gay now, but that's how it was made. The fashion world is very gay. So in hip hop, in that intersecting, and we all know Kanye West has always been way more into fashion than he has been into hip hop. And I feel like he got behind the scenes, figured out the gay shit that they be doing, like them Diddy parties that he be at in Miami. I know what the fuck is going on. Oh my God, I figured out so much.
You'll be dead.
Crack the fucking code.
Hopefully it'll be alive by tomorrow.
Right.
But
He spilled a lot of tea tonight. He just spilled a lot of tea tonight.
Oh man.
Sparky, did you have anything to add to this?
I almost forgot what the original topic was about.
Kanye and Adidas, their partnership, basically.
Okay. I think that if they want to sell the shoes, they know they need Yeezy. And so they're going to do whatever they got to do to make that happen, whether it's a short-term relationship or whether it's, something more long-term. I kind of believe, like how you were saying at the beginning, you don't think he had a plan. And that's why the only reason he would be considering going back to them, because if he could do it on his own, or if he was going to do it on his own, then he would just hold out and wouldn't go back to them. Especially if you know that they need you to make it happen. If you had, the means to do it on your own, you will hold out and just make them jokers need you. That would be your best move, if you had the ability. So,
but his wife is, and it's so sick that his wife is a former Yeezy employee and she's handling all of his business endeavors. So he could, like, imagine if he was in his right mind. The old Kanye would be like, hey, fuck y'all, fam. You see, he would literally be on Twitter right now. Y'all see how Adidas came crawling back. Y'all see how he would literally be talking his shit. He would
definitely be popping his shit.
Going the fuck live. Like, he would literally be walking through that monastery that he fucking has for North or some shit, just going off about the shit. But because the person who is handling all of his business endeavors, the person that legally can handle anything coming to him because she is his wife, was also a former Yeezy employee, still works for Yeezy. So it's also in her best interest, not only just as a Yeezy employee, but as his wife, that he goes back with Yeezy. So doesn't it just work out all cookie cutter clean? Doesn't it just fit into a nice little narrative?
Yeah, but what's the end result with that, though? I mean, yeah, he's doing this now, but that's what I'm saying. Is this going to be a long-term or a short-term fix? And also,
it depends on how much money they stand to make with him. And I hate to talk about it like this, but
yeah. But who?
You know how much artist stock goes up after they're dead?
So what now?
You know the kind of life insurance and policies they have on these artists, especially when you're as big as Kanye West?
Yeah, I'm sure they have quite a bit of it. Most of these rappers have had life insurance policies on them.
They've already been painting him as erratic. They've been painting him as a drug user. They've been painting him as violent. It would not surprise me if something tragic were to happen. And of course, when people die, we love to show our love. Like, there are so many people that became Nipsey Hussle fans after he died. I'm talking to y'all. You know who you are. But we love to do that. And artist stock rises after death. And when you create things that people are going to resonate with forever, they kind of want to, as long as they have your image, they don't need you. And as an artist, you kind of sign away your image sometimes. Again, this is how we saw they took his literal creation of Yeezy, how they were about to pull his music, things he created with his motherfucking fingers off of streaming platforms, and nobody said not shit. I mean, people said shit. What could they do? What could any artist actually do? That and think about that shit. This was really about to happen to someone as big as Kanye West, someone who was formerly once the richest man on the planet, worth $11 billion, and they took that from him. They literally showed us that rich nigga, poor nigga, still nigga.
So with that being said, then who's actually suffering more, you think, from this? Kanye or Adidas? I mean, yeah, I think they're both hurting from the severing of this partnership, but who do you think wants to get back in more?
I honestly don't think it's, yeah. I mean, Adidas knows they need Kanye West to sell it. There's no work around that.
They'll still sell, but they ain't gonna sell as much. And then of course Kanye's still rich, but he ain't as rich. You know, that's a difference.
Yeah, but
some of them is
the thing that's bliss for Kanye, is if he in a bipolar cycle or something right now, he don't even realize some of what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Also, I want to point out,
when it come back around, he might not even, he ain't gonna remember all of the in-betweens. Adidas remembering it. Adidas is feeling it.
And
I want to point out how also
that's probably why he's not responding like we probably think he should or he has in the past. He's had ups and downs where one minute he seems happy and thank God, and I'm just thankful to be here and stuff. And then the next, I'm gonna go DEFCON on the Jewish people and all this stuff. He switches back and forth. So we saying right now he ain't saying nothing, but wait until April. Let's see what he's gonna say then when they sign the contract to sell the rest of these Yeezys. Let's see what he says then, because he's switching back and forth.
The ADL, the Jewish Defense or the Anti-Defamation League, they weren't started to actually free innocent Jewish people. They were started to stop you from talking about Jewish people.
Yeah.
The case in which they were trying to protect a man who was accused of raping a young white girl, a Jewish man who was accused of raping a white girl, was found guilty. He actually did rape that white girl. He was found guilty by a jury of his fellow white peers. But the Anti-Defamation League was started to stop people from talking about it. And as you see, there's been a recoil and pretty much an entire silencing of Kanye's former stance on the Jews. And let's be honest, there are probably Jews that work at Adidas. Hi, guys. Do we even know the exact ethnicity or descent of his wife? Like all these white women that are just popping up around him. Like who's the last black person who was around Kanye West? We need to get in contact with them. We need to ask them, yo, how was this? It was probably Dave Chappelle.
Candace Owens.
Nah, he don't like Dave Chappelle.
And that right there, Candace Owens.
That's remember that's who it was. He was wearing the t-shirt with her. That's the last black person he was around.
Candace Owens has a white husband who owns the social network, and that is where.
Yeah, she owns that, but he was going so crazy and so MIA that even they didn't want to sign Kanye. So
what does her husband own?
Parler, the website Parler, the social media website where all the
like Twitter,
all the MAGA niggas went after Trump got banned.
Yeah.
If you're a Trump, it's basically farmers only, but 2023.
Yeah, but Kanye went so crazy they didn't even want to sign him, and then they were in his corner. They were the last people, at least Candace Owens was the last black person on his side, and even she didn't want to sign with him after he started saying all these other things about going DEFCON and all this other thing about Jewish people or whatever. So even she fell back.
Another thing that's weird right now, Charlemagne the God jokingly offers to give fellatio if Kanye West gets back with Adidas. That's literally, you go to Google, type in Kanye West and click the news tab. That's literally like the second or third thing that pops up.
So who Charlemagne about to be giving fellatio to his dumb ass for saying that?
Like, what? This is the second time he done offered fellatio on the dare that no one like.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. He did that on some other topic too, and then it ended up becoming true. So I don't know what's going on with that. But he needs to stop saying he's gonna give somebody head
And that's
for.
crazy.
And he keep like writing in office. Well, I said it because it's something I thought would never happen. But it's like
You
Pick
wanted
something
that.
else, shit. Right?
in another
Like, what's up? Why you
universe,
keep going to that?
Well, just
like
don't
in
say
another
it.
universe, my nigga, it happened. So in
Yeah.
another universe,
How
the
about bet
outcome was
$20?
different, and you sucked that dick.
How about
So
You
bet
might have could have
$100?
said that the first time, but you can't say that shit the second time because when you tried that shit last time, it didn't work. Nigga, you don't know what? Come on, man.
I don't like what I unfollowed, unsubscribed, and blocked the Breakfast Club as well on YouTube because I don't like the direction they're moving in. I didn't like it to begin, or I mean, I did like it. I'm not gonna lie, I did like it, but now it's just not even because it's just weird because DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God and check this out. Not if they're gay, actually, that's cool. Like actually, like maybe Little Nas X should be the third host. You know what I'm saying? Or damn, actually, isn't Jason Lee the third host now?
Nah, he's a guest. He was a guest host. They've had
Oh
several
damn.
people.
I actually thought that fit because he would fit right in. He's the only one that's out about his gayness. That would probably make Envy and Charlamagne the God more comfortable because you gave this man a whole mold of your butt cheeks for his birthday. Ew. Just like on a coworker level. That's nasty. Like from cowork, like don't come into our workspace and give me something that was molded over your booty cheeks. And because I sometimes I might eat lunch at my desk and you just gonna hand me your ass over the desk. Ew, Charlamagne. That's not professional. That's
Oh,
you
he'll
just
only
gotta sit.
be if he goes back to Adidas, then he'll eat.
And that's why they be letting Charlamagne rock because he play along with they ancient Roman bisexual shit. Like this whole society, the old men that run the old white men that run the society are like angry, down low gay. That's why they have all those strange island parties away from society and shit.
All right. Trying to
Oh
get
yeah, yeah. Before I get cut out again,
you
because
can get us cut off. Tell me I cut out.
fuck you, Epstein.
All right. All right. Let's go to the last subject of today. Anybody seen? Has it come out yet? Creed 3. Anybody seen that?
Going to see it tomorrow.
Is it supposed to come out tomorrow? That's when it's supposed to come out.
There's early showing tonight at like probably 11 or 12 or some shit.
Yeah, I'll see it sometime. Michael B. Jordan. Let's see. What was the first movie he came out? Oh, what, Fruitvale Station?
Hardball.
And The Wire. That's actually the first time.
The first movie he was in was motherfucking Hard. Strike
movie.
One caught you by surprise. Strike two, right before your eyes.
So he starred in The Wire. That's where I first remember seeing him, whatever. And I think he was in high school then, maybe early high school. Right. So he was coming up, and there were some other people in his high school that picked on him, I guess, for his name and I guess maybe how he acted or whatever. And there was an interviewer, a blogger that interviewed him recently about the upcoming movie Creed 3. And he remembered some things he said about him, or allegedly said about him, where she called him corny for, I guess, his goals in high school, wanted to be an actor and stuff like that. And he remembered, he didn't forget, and he called her out on the red carpet. He didn't get mad or nothing like that, but he just was like, oh, now you want to interview me and talk about how successful I am, but you used to call me corny. Let's play that clip right quick. It's just audio, but play that clip.
And, you know, we know each other. We go way back all the way to Chad Science in Newark, okay?
Oh, the corny kid, right?
No, I did not say that. Misquoted for sure. No, you did not hear me say. I said we used to make fun of the name. But yeah, he is obviously killing things out here. How is the difference between you actually directing and working with the same people that you were directed with versus?
It was awesome. You know, it's a family vibe. Yeah. Last nine years of my life, I spent on the Creed films. They're very supportive. You know, Tessa, Felicia, Rashad, Wood Harris, people that see me grow up. Yeah. And for the fact that I stepped behind the camera and finally got a chance to direct them, they loved it, they embraced it, and it was a wonderful experience.
And was it difficult for you mentally because you're coming out of a different space?
All right. And there was some people that criticized and said he was corny for coming at her for something that happened in high school that he shouldn't even mention that. You know, he should be above that because he's got a successful career. Move on. Joe Budden on his podcast called him corny for mentioning this on the red carpet, bringing it back, something that happened when he was high school, whatever. I guess you got no love for Joe Budden.
Joe Budden has no right to speak about how anyone interacts with women.
That's a story for another day. So if you guys are in this situation, any profession, you became successful, and I guess nobody's going to interview you for every profession, but if you were a successful actor and this was your career path and you became immensely successful, the movies you made a lot of money, and you remember these people said you weren't going to make it, or they had no faith in what you were going to do later on in life with this profession, would you call them out on it if they were interviewing you on this red carpet? Do you think it's corny for him to bring something that came out that they told him he wasn't going to make it 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever? Do you think that's corny?
Don't we? That's literally what our culture is about. Stunning on niggas that said we wasn't going to fucking make it. Back then, didn't want me. Now I'm hot, all on me. Like y'all,
I don't think that it's corny for him to do it. It was petty, you know what I'm saying? But you know, if it was me personally, I would have did it. I would have called her out.
And he did it, and he still gave her an interview. He could have just said, "Hey, you was the bitch that said I was corny," and walked the fuck off.
It could have walked away, but he did.
He could have called her.
It was still one of those. Ain't that funny that y'all talk shit about me, and now here you are trying to get an interview with me?
And let's be honest, she lied directly to his face about it. Like she really.
I didn't say that.
Like I read the whole quote. She literally called him corny. She laughed at him for bringing that. There was a corporation of them that laughed at him for bringing his headshot in. And they said they made fun of him because, he was Michael B. Jordan, but he was no Michael Jordan. That was the exact quote. And it's like, okay, that's cool. Like, and I can say, if I tell you I remember that, and you literally just sit there and tell me, no, I didn't do. Like, we just had a whole conversation about this. That seems pretty emotionally stupid. Like, you can't take accountability for something you did that affected me. Honestly, if you just owned up to it, I might have been just like, but hey, if you didn't hate on me so hard back then, you might not be here on my red carpet right now. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is my red carpet. Welcome to my movie, directed and starring me, Michael B. Jordan, that name he made fun of. Yeah, like we really try to tell celebrities that, oh, y'all should act different because y'all in a better position. But we know how we act when we get a little bit of something.
Exactly.
Like we get a little bit of shit and stunt on each other. For what?
That's
just
why I
like,
kept it a band and was like, I would have did it.
Yeah, people be ready to brag about just getting a manager position at a job somewhere. Somebody, hey, you thought I wasn't gonna never be nothing. You thought I was gonna be a crackhead. I am.
And I hate to flip it like this, but let's flip it. Let's flip the genders. If this was a dude that if this was a young lady that was now directing and starring in a film, and this was a dude on the other end of the red carpet, they call her ugly or a duck or some shit back in high school, and she brought that up
or whatever.
She would literally be championed for that's how you do it, girl, and motherfucking don't let that motherfucker forget how he tried to get, because these niggas like, come on now. We live for this.
Most R&B songs going at guys are about that. Taylor Swift made a whole career on that of being petty.
Taylor Swift literally gets into relationships just so she can sing about being a victim of those relationships. We literally only accept Mary J. Blige when she is upset and sad. We literally pray for Summer Walker to go through heartache and trauma just so we can get good music. We championed Sweetie for being petty in her breakup with Offset. We championed Lori Harvey for being petty in her breakup with motherfucking Michael B. Jordan, actually the person we're talking about. Like we champion it in certain people. And again, I really do, like I've taken some things here, some excerpts. This Michael B. Jordan convo has gone on long enough, man. He didn't violate the interviewer, still answered her questions with thoughtful responses, and gave her more grace than the average person might have. How he came off being the villain, I don't know.
He still did the interview. So I was like,
Cameron Hay.
that's about as well as you can handle it. He could have He could have not gave her an interview, could have said no comment, walked off, or cursed her out, but he still gave her the interview. He was still calm about it.
Could have been passive aggressive the whole interview. Could have been just like, yeah, like could have just kept bringing it up. Like still gave.
He could have been emotionally immature. And
Even
called
and Jonathan Majors came through, gave you two black men having fun, hugging, having a good time together and shit. She made it weird by asking who's the sexiest between y'all. Like she made the whole interview cringy as hell. Like she was like, "Oh, Jonathan, so who's the sexiest between you two? Who's the sexiest?" And he was like, "What kind of question is that? Like, cause what the fuck are you trying to?" And I love a quote that another person from Twitter said here: "Tia versus your mama." Great Twitter name. Love it. Also call her just Tia. It's the people that were bullies themselves. They saw someone get held accountable and was triggered. And I strongly believe that. A lot of these journalists, quote unquote, are really just keyboard bullies, really just people that spent their entire or that made a career out of talking shit about celebrities, so much to the point that they got called to a red carpet to play fake with them. Those people end up working at TMZ. They end up working blog sites like Perez Hilton made a whole fucking career out of literally just being a hater.
That's what a blog does, is it bring up old stuff all the time. That's what Wendy Williams did.
Especially when you're hot right now. One of the things blogs love to do is remind people of how corny it used to be. Look at this person's high school yearbook. He was a lame.
Matter of fact, that's what Twitter does. That's what cancel culture is. Twitter brings up old stuff from 20 years, 15 years ago that people ain't even thinking about and tried to use it to attack somebody. How is this any different? Except he did it in person. And he wasn't trying to counsel nobody. Again, he didn't try to counsel or attack her. He just brought up something that really happened. Hey, you called me corny back then. Don't forget. Look at where I'm at now. I don't think that's corny, but hey, whatever. People can call it whatever they want to call it. But everyone does it, I think. Some people just keep quiet about it. But
when y'all get to y'all red carpet, handle it differently when some haters, because I would love to see you Twitter and Facebook motherfuckers handle some have a red carpet with some couth, god damn it, and not talk shit. Well, first off, I see a lot of people live here that didn't think we would make it here tonight, right? Like you, Uncle Thomas. Yeah, I remember I came to you and I asked you for about $50 just to get me started, and you told me what? You told me, no, put the spotlight on that nigga. Put the spotlight on that nigga. Like, y'all, come on now. People get a blue check next to their name, and we expect them to act holier than thou when thou ain't even acting holy to begin with. Fuck out of my face.
That's what everybody in this world lives to do, though, is prove somebody wrong. Everybody in this world wants to prove somebody wrong at some point. In school, jobs, relationships, everything, breakups. Everybody wants to prove somebody wrong. Some people, like I said, they bring it up in different ways, or maybe you keep it to yourself, but everybody wants to prove somebody wrong. I don't see
everyone wants to be right.
You can do it with decor and grace or whatever you want to call it. But
not even everyone wants to prove someone wrong, or everyone wants to be right. Nobody wants to be wrong. And that's what was happening in that video. That woman could not handle being told that she was wrong. She could not handle being called out for something that she did in the past that hurt someone, like regardless. And again, like it's like, do we want our men to be emotionally intelligent? Do we want our men to speak up? Was he just supposed to hold that in? Oh, he's rich and famous now. He shouldn't have said nothing about it. Y'all get on Twitter and Facebook and talk shit about the literal people you create children with. But he can't talk about someone that bullied him in high school?
Right.
Y'all get on Facebook and talk about your jobs, your employees, random motherfuckers that came through the drive-through line or came through your checkout line. Y'all get on Facebook and Twitter and talk about each other while you're sitting right next to motherfuckers sometimes. Be in whole relationships with each other, subtweeting each other and shit. But y'all mad that he called out someone that bullied him? Like, again, if this was any other situation, and I hate to put it in these things, if the person was white, we'd be okay with this. I'll put it like that. I won't even, because making it man versus woman is very divisive, because it's a black man and a black woman, and we don't need any more division. The sister was wrong, but she was also young. All she had to do was apologize forward and move forward amicably. He
Are we
understood that she
wrong?
was not gonna apologize. He
Mhm.
was still professional enough to give her an interview, give her good answers, and give her non-threatening, non-defensive, non-passive aggressive energy the whole time. He did nothing wrong. He just simply, because again, if it would have been different if it was a man too. We wouldn't say anything. It would literally be just like, hell yeah, yeah, check that motherfucker. Like, but because this was a man and a woman, and particularly a black man and a black woman, I think the media, the internet at large, just saw a way to be divisive. There was nothing wrong here. Like it was a good experience on both ends. I feel like both genders can grow from seeing this video. Ladies, this woman did the exact opposite of what you should do. She did not take accountability for something that she very clearly did. And it affected him. And she discounted and discredited and gaslighted and manipulated him. She made him seem, or made it seem as though what he was saying was not true and therefore didn't need to be given any further credence to. And fellas, what you need to recognize that Michael B. Jordan did is he didn't call her out of her name. He didn't disrespect her. He didn't degrade her. He didn't try to go tit for tat with her. He still moved very professionally. He still moved how a respectable, dignified man moves when he is above that. I can mention what you did to me, but I can also let you know what I'm here to do. Bars.
All right. Shoot, Sparky still there?
I'm here.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add on that?
Nah, I think Lord Trent hit it, but I do agree though. I don't think he did nothing wrong. Like I said, if it was me, I would have said something about it too. You know, I think even though he said something about it, you know, he still ultimately gave her the interview, and so that was all. Not that he was required, but kind of required to do. Forget what he said. You know, my actions were this. You know, forget that I made the comment about it or whatever. I was going to do that. I wasn't going to let her slide, but I still gave her the interview. So it's still going to help push her career forward, even though she was hating on him back in the day. I don't think he did anything wrong either.
Yeah, she gonna be mad known for that. So either way,
Yeah,
like, it's,
yeah. Oh yeah, that's
we
what I'm
talking about it
saying.
right
So
now. Shit.
right, so that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. You know, even in all of that, you know, she's
She gonna,
still gonna get pushed forward by it. So he
uh,
should have said something. You know,
she gonna get views
that
because
that might teach people, you know, to treat people a little bit better. You never know who you know who people are. You could be entertaining the angel. You out here calling the boy corny, even though he was
And he
probably
just knew
corny
what he
in school.
wanted. Like, also, we need to recognize
you
that.
see, you
Like,
stuck that in there.
that man just knew what he wanted at an early age. Yeah, and someone else said something about that. We got to normalize not calling a successful black man that hasn't had any run-ins with the police, that isn't disrespectful or misogynistic towards women. We got to stop calling them corny. But like, we got to get out of
Right,
that mindset. Like,
right. You could have said
because
he wasn't a bad boy, you know, but doesn't mean he had to be corny. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing corny. There's nothing corny with, you know what I'm saying, being upstanding. You know what I'm saying? Being upstanding and not doing
and
stuff
I get
wrong.
it. He's from New Jersey, so you know what I'm saying. You're used to a different kind of person, but that's you're used to. Yeah, you go with what you know, and not too many people are walking into their fucking their 11th grade science class with their headshots. But when you're 16, shit, you don't have not to. And again, if she would have just realized, hey, I made that mistake, and just tried to say, if she would have reconciled that before she got the microphone to his face, because she had to know. And you know what, she did know, because she tried to slide it in there. You know, we go way back, we know each other. So you really tried to skate on us knowing each other. You really tried to use me for clout, like you weren't a hater back then. We all saying that this man should have acted differently, but come on now. If someone called you fat, if someone called you ugly back in the day, if some not even called you ugly or fat, if someone told you that the thing you knew you were going to do, you knew you were destined to do, if someone called you corny for that, or said that you weren't going to make it, and now years later, here you are making it, and here they are asking you how you made it, you come on now. We're human. We all act like we're not human. I'm the only one with Lord in front of my name, and I would do that shit. To it, I am the petty God. overseer of many things.
All right. We'll leave that one and go to the last segment for the show, the deepest thought. Let's check out what the deepest thought is, and we're gonna wrap it up.
This video is for anybody with a beard who is thinking of shaving it. Don't. Remember, you are ugly under that.
God damn.
Yeah, that was it. That was aimed at probably me because I look like a thumb with lips without my beard. So,
damn, that mean I'm like pre-ugly because I'm still trying to get one.
Yeah, that's rough.
I'm on my way up the ugly scale.
Yeah, that's why I keep the beard long. So I'm gonna keep it for a long time. It's possible. I don't want to show the real me. This is nothing but a natural filter for men.
One day you're gonna have to take that beard off. One day you're gonna have to show us.
That's why I got behind the beard.
I'm gonna do an expose docu-series behind the beard, the Big Red story.
I'm never taking it off, dude. I get Magic Mark and fill this thing up.
I'm gonna release
all the time.
I'm gonna release an autobiography for you and your beard. I'm gonna narrate both of them.
The after and before, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Not the before and after.
Is it just that you've had the beard so long now that you can't imagine yourself without it?
Kind of. It's a part of me now. It's symbiotic with me.
What if it turns all gray? You still gonna keep it?
Oh, that's what, what is that? Binging? Or whatever you call it. That's what that's for.
Hair the whole hair color for men,
yeah.
I mean, some people don't want to do that, but I was just, how sometimes when they get white and people don't be that old, when they cut that shit off, it take years off their life. Like, oh damn.
You right. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. I would keep it if it all turns white. And I might just look like a distinguished gentleman.
You're gonna look like Gandalf. You're gonna look like motherfucking who else got a flowing white? Santa Claus, obviously. Who's not a real person.
Well, I could be jolly old Saint Nick. I got to gain a little bit more weight, and that'll come back when the wintertime rolls back around. But I can get that way. But I don't know. I don't know. I've only shaved. Not my beard, but my mustache since it was able to grow from the Jay-Z beginnings, which was it's not much.
With whiskers like a rat compared to beans, you whack. I understood that reference.
Yeah, I shaved it one time, and that's it in the entirety of my life. I've had a mustache at least, but without a beard, I think I would feel naked.
Word. I mean, I can't wait to put some clothes on.
You know how some people cut their whole hair off and they make a Facebook post like, I did something. I was like, you just cut your hair off. It's not a big deal. Stop making it like it's a life changer.
The big chop, y'all.
That would probably be me, though. If I cut it off, it was like, I did something. And people were like, well, you couldn't cut your hair off. So it has to be.
It's going to be weird. It's like, I don't even know if you have a chin under there. It's going to be.
It's a Chuck Norris fist that comes out.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like, he only has, it's no chin. It's a third fist.
Oh, so let's see Sparky saying it's all right. What? I don't know what happened? Y'all had a conversation? Oh, she gave me.
No, that's what Sparky was saying. She was trying to get on the show.
Okay. Oh,
it was one of those. It was like the episode, the Varnell episode of Martin. She was trying to get on the show, but Varnell had bumped his spot.
Tookie! Do work.
I get sprayed.
Nah, nobody remembers. There ain't too many people to remember before Big Beard, Big Red BP. There ain't too many people. She remembers, but there ain't too many.
Behind the beard, the Big Red story.
Yeah, you got to go into the archives to find that. There ain't too many people to see me without that, but But
I'm gonna find
this. You gonna look up. That's the end of the show tonight. I'd like to thank everybody for coming on the show. Big Red, LT Lord Trent, and Sparky. Thanks y'all coming on, getting some hostile therapy, not because you want it, but because you need it. And we will be back next Thursday, so stay tuned and see what we're going to talk about. I'll have the thing posted by Monday, but stay tuned to see what crazy things we're going to talk about next week. Y'all have a good night.
All right, y'all.
Good
They're gonna come get me.
night.
All right.